Hi, everyone. Welcome to ElCo Chats. My name is Julieta. ElCo Chats is a regular podcast where we feature El Camino College students, alumni, staff, faculty, managers, and talk about all things El Camino College. For today's episode, I get to chat with Josefina Cruz Molina, Program Coordinator of the Immigrant Student Success Program here at El Camino College. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So we have lots to talk about yourself and the program and how students can benefit. So let's get right to it. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and your journey to becoming the coordinator of the Immigrant Student Success Program here at El Camino College?
Yes. Well, thank you very much for having me. I arrived here at the age of 14 from El Salvador. I arrived with my family, my parents, my two brothers. And, after I graduated from college, I work in the nonprofit world, assisting the immigrant population, especially those individuals who were green card holders and were ready to, become U.S. citizens. So my goal was always to work with students, be that person that guides them right to be successful. So that's what led me, when this position opened up, I was very excited to apply, and I am very happy to be here.
Thank you. What inspires you to work with immigrant students, and what has been the most rewarding part of this role?
Yes. So, coming to this country, I had to navigate a different educational system. So for me to be able to be doing this role, right? I really get to be that person that helps those students also navigate. I am a product of, a community college. So I see the value, I see the affordability, I see the community that I was able to create. And I want to make sure that that is open for our students. So that helps me, really be that person that I sometimes had, but sometimes didn't have.
Yeah, and it sounds like you also made a connection between working with the nonprofit world and then higher education and specifically immigrant student population. So a little bit more about the program. Can you give us an overview about the Immigrant Student Success Program? And what are some of the main goals here at the college?
Yes, I'm very happy. We have a mission, so I'm going to go ahead and read that. So the Immigrant Student Success Program here at El Camino College is a place of support and empowerment for our undocumented students, AB 540, DACA, mixed status households, and all those pursuing their dreams regardless of their immigration status. The ISS program provides services and events that are carefully arranged to help immigrant and undocumented students navigate El Camino College, their academic success, and life beyond the classroom. And our services are we provide academic counseling. So I am very fortunate to have a team. I have 4 part-time counselors. I have at least one of them here every day, and they help the students, understand, applying for AB 540, right? What that is. Also, the California Dream Act, which is the financial aid application, state financial aid. They also assist them with connecting them with immigration legal services. So we have a partnership with CHIRLA, which is the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights Los Angeles, and they provide free legal consultations for our students, faculty, and staff. Other great things that we're doing is also working, for example, with the health center to provide workshops regarding mental health, and they're specific for our students. We have also hosted the Immigrant Families Night. Mm-hmm. So we bring our community members, we bring prospective students, we invite the high schools to really come and understand what are the policies, right, in California, what are the resources, how they can access that, how can they apply, and really, minimize that fear. And another great thing is also providing Undocu ally trainings for our ElCo staff and faculty. So they, it's not only our team, right, helping our students, but everybody in the community here at El Camino.
And you talked about some of the services and resources that the program provides for students, but it also sounds like there are services that are available for those of us who work here at the college, the community, and the families as well. You also talked a little bit, you mentioned the word fear. And where does that come from? Can you elaborate a little bit more about the fear that the immigrant students might have?
Yeah, our immigrant undocumented students, obviously the things that you see in the news, social media, also our own families, right? Their own fears. And that is, the fear of being deported, the fear of accessing resources, even though, they're able to, right? We fortunately live in a very progressive state. So California has, like I mentioned, for our students, in-state tuition, state financial aid. So students, when they come and they see us, they're just very like, no, I don't really want to access anything. I don't want to have problems in the future. So we're really there to let them know, like, no, we have laws in place, right? Mm-hmm. Policies in the campus that we're not going to be providing any type of information, so you're able to access.
And I'm really happy to hear that you work with other programs as well. It's not just the Immigrant Student Success program, but like Student Health Services, for example, is another service that's available. So in line with some of the fears that students might have, what are some challenges that immigrant students face in pursuing higher education? And what does the Immigrant Student Success program do to support students?
Yeah, so really going back to the fear and also the misinformation. It's very interesting when I go and I present, in our classes here on campus, ESO classes, or when I go and I present at high schools, and I ask, do you know what AB 540 is, which, that provides the institution and access to the California Dream Act. That's an assembly bill, and they don't know. And when they learn it, it's like, oh, wow, I had no idea. And most of the time the students are ready to come to college and they're not aware of that. So that's one of the goals of the Immigrant Student Success program, making sure that we're tackling that right now, right? That we are attending also our own new student orientations here on campus to let the students know that they can connect with us. Another challenge that I see, again, it's the anxiety and concern for not having access to legal services for things that they don't know that they might qualify for, right? So that's why, we bring those professionals here, are the paralegal, the lawyer, so they can meet and see what type of immigration relief they might qualify for. Another challenge is paid internship and work experience. That's a big one. But many of our students do not know that if they, are California Dream Act applicants, they're able to apply for DSIC, which is the Dream Service Incentive Grant, which allows them to do volunteer work, but they get they get a stipend of up to $4,500 a year. So again, we're here and we want to make sure that all of our students know that they can connect with us. They can, basically talk about anything, and we'll be able to direct them.
And it sounds like, as you mentioned, there's so many different resources that are available that students might not know about. So you're almost like that one space where, yes, I'll help you with your academics. I'll connect you with an outside organization. And I'll also let you know that there are internships available. And I'll help you get through the El Camino College system and navigating the different offices. You mentioned AB 540. And can you talk a little bit about the process of new students coming to El Camino College and how that looks different for students who are immigrant students and those especially who are trying to qualify for something like AB 540 to get that in-state tuition?
So the AB 540 is an assembly bill. It's here in California. And basically it states that if a student has been here in California, for 3 years and has been attending, let's say 3 years of high school and has completed the high school or a GED, the high school diploma or the GED, they're able to access in-state tuition, and also they're able to apply for the California Dream Act, which is state financial aid, not federal, state financial aid. So for the students who completed the California Dream Act application, let's say right now if they're in high school, the school already received that, right, the affidavit, the AB 540 form, because they filled that out as they complete the California Dream Act. However, we still recommend that they complete it here at El Camino. They fill out the form. So like that, they're able to, be able to pay less, right? The $46 instead of $300, which usually that's how much students out of state paid to come to school. So Yes, and let's say if a student does not qualify for AB 540, then they can go ahead and apply for the 6-unit or fewer non-resident tuition form, which basically states that if a student has not reached that AB 540 eligibility, they can still be part-time students taking 6 units and paying $46. Of course, at this time, they're not able to apply to financial aid for the California DREAM Act. But, again, that's why it's so important for them to meet with our counselors so they can establish when that's going to happen, right?
Absolutely. And so that's just one challenge. But as you mentioned, you are available to support students in that process, not just when they've already enrolled in our students here at El Camino College, but also in the process of becoming an enrolled El Camino College student. So thinking again about the program and students who participate, could you share a success story or an example of a student who has thrived because of their participation in your program?
Of course, yeah. And it's not only one, I would say it's many. We see students on a daily basis, and one of the most rewarding parts of it is when I meet with a student, or when one of my counselors, right, meets with a student, and they're able to clarify their questions. They're able to say, yes, you qualify for AB 540, or maybe you don't, but you're close. This is how many units you're missing, and you can do this waiver form, or we can help you reach that eligibility by not only taking classes here, but maybe at an adult school. So just being able to give them that relief, it's an amazing thing. And it's not only for new students, but it's also returning students, adult students. I've been here in this position for like a year and 6 months, and just being able to see that change, and for those students to come back, being able to create that rapport, that connection, for the students to feel free to bring their parents to that. I think that's a very important thing when you're not only able to assure that to the student, but the parent, because the parents are afraid, they don't want to provide any information, or they don't want to let the students in. For us to be able to be that open door, for them to welcome them here at El Camino and open our space, it's an amazing thing. And to see the students are thriving and they're coming back, they're getting good grades, and they just want to know more, So I think it's not only one student, but just all of them, the ones that we see.
And I'm really glad that you mentioned and you included the students' families, because again, it's you have the support provided here on campus, but then in order for that success to continue, you have to also inform the family and make sure that they're aware of their students' experience. Now, thinking about the future, with ongoing changes in immigration policies, how does the program adapt to support students navigating these uncertainties?
Of course. One of the things that I would like to highlight is the fact that we live in California, right? We are one of the 25 states that provide in-state tuition and also state financial aid. So we're very progressive, and that's what I love about the state. So one of the things that I guess, speaking not right now our level here at the college, but in the state level, right? Like they have been messages of support already that has been provided by the community college presidents, our chancellors at the different universities. So just being able to see that, and also the Commission for Student Aid, which is that provides the financial aid, also saying we're here in this fight together, and we have laws, we have policies in place that protect our student data. Just being able to see that. So here on campus as a program, my team and I, we're constantly right now attending trainings, webinars by, for example, President's Alliance. That's an organization that works with all of our community college in the country. And they're, making sure that we are up to date about what is happening. And also, doing trainings, know your rights workshops. That is something that it's going to be happening often. And they're going to be provided in English and Spanish to make sure that, the students and their families are aware of what their rights are. And also, obviously, we're going to continue the support. We're going to continue, making sure the students connect with our legal, with our immigration services. So something that I did not mention is the fact that CHIRLA, our legal provider, is here once a month. They provide in-person appointments, but they also provide these appointments via Zoom. So they're virtual as well. So students are able to book an appointment on findyourally.com. And they, again, they just have to, it's general information that they have to fill out, like their name, email, way of contacting them. And then they're able to connect with a legal provider. And sometimes they have they're able to cover certain fees for certain applications. So that's why it's very important. And again, it's always good to look for other opinions. So I do have a list of other organizations in case they want to get that second opinion.
So it sounds like a good place to start with your program is definitely the website, because that's where you have a little bit more information about all of the different resources and services, yes, whatever events you may have coming up, as well as other contacts that might be available on campus. And I do like that you mentioned that they also have Zoom appointments available as well, because for some students, it's more convenient to meet online as well.
Yeah. And one thing that I do want to mention is like, they don't even have their camera. They don't even have to have their camera on. They can just do it as like, they can see the other person on the other end. They don't have to do that. So they respect that as well. So definitely a great resource.
Thank you for mentioning that. Now, what is one thing you wish more people understood about working with immigrant students and their experiences? I meet with my counselors often to check, how they're doing, what are some of the things that they're seeing. How can we best support? Do we need to reach out to, our admissions and records offices or office or the financial aid office? And I'm in constant communication to make sure that that's being taken care of. But I would say my counselors and I, we love our students. They're very humble. They're very hardworking, and they just struggle so much. There's just so many obstacles, and one of them is obviously the family support. Sometimes, as I mentioned, having to come to school, sometimes that's not the family is not very supportive. So that's why we open the door in case they want to bring their family members. Another thing that I would like for people to understand is that our students face obstacles like financial stress, which they're not able to find a job, and sometimes there is state financial aid, but that doesn't cover everything. They don't get federal aid. Sometimes job opportunities are very, very limited. Also limited guidance, right, which I already mentioned, not having the right information, and also not trusting, right, because they get a different type of information from different people. So it's important to be mindful of that and really understand where they come from. And other things that I would like for people to know is that sometimes students, lack that sense of belonging. And we do have a club. It's called Warriors that here at El Camino. And I would like for all of our students who are here in this podcast to join. They have weekly meetings. They usually meet on Wednesdays in the Communications Building 109 to create. And that's one way to create community. And we welcome allies as well. The students are okay with welcoming allies. Other obstacles, I would say language barriers, and also immigration policies, the things that they see on TV, the things that they hear. But again, we are here to support, to provide the right information. And if we don't know, and I always say this, if I don't know the answer, we'll look it up together. Thank you. And I do appreciate that you all are proactive as well in seeking students versus just waiting for students to come and find you. And that club is a really good opportunity to connect with others, because we don't really know, or there might be somebody that we can connect with that we're going through a similar situation. So it's better able to get through it together than to figure it out on our own. And so just in closing, and for students, specifically immigrant students who are thinking about applying to El Camino College, what advice do you have for them?
So I would say to please connect with us. Please connect with us. Come meet me, meet my counselors as well. Please, it's very easy. They can literally type on Google Immigrant Student Success El Camino. They'll be able to see our webpage. They're able to book an appointment. Once they get their student ID number, they're able to book an appointment, to get started with that, with that conversation, right? Because what happens is, our counselors, it's not just about, I'm going to create an educational plan. Sometimes there's so many things that need to be taken care of, like the forms need to be filled out correctly, so they're not being charged a lot of money, right? So maybe they can get priority registration. All of that information, we have it. So again, they can go ahead and book that appointment with us, or on the website also they're able to see our emails. And my email is jdcruz@elcamino.edu. That's the easiest way. They don't have to meet with a counselor. They can meet with me. I'm also able to provide information. Again, now I see a lot of people are, part of Instagram too. They have an Instagram. So we do have an Instagram. They can follow us there. It's Immigrant Student Success.ecc. So they can see all of our events, all of our, when there are appointments available, I put it in there as well. So, they have different venues where they can find us. It's just a matter of doing it and coming and meeting with us. And, again, we also provide these appointments via Zoom as well, if that's more comfortable.
That's great. So for students, specifically immigrant students who are thinking about coming to El Camino College, Immigrant Student Success Program is here to provide services, to provide support. Connect with us, please. Go to our website, make an appointment, attend workshops, and bring your families to some of these workshops.
Yes.
So,
and we do speak Spanish. I know there are other languages, but for sure we speak Spanish. And again, if they're not able to, if there's another language, I am definitely able to connect with the college and see how we can bring a translator as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time to tell us a little bit about the Immigrant Student Success Program, especially with changing times and policies. It's important to know your rights, like you said. So know what services are available and that there is somebody that's here to help.
Yes.
Thank you again.
Thank you for having me.